Hi folks, before you watch this thinking this is going to be a knife video, may I disabuse you of that notion. I've been asked a number of times about why it is that I have dodgy hands and what happened and what's the problem. Now, my right hand is, as you, if you've been watching this for a while will know, it's pretty much paralysed, and my left hand is it's not completely paralysed, but it's much slower and really not dexterous like other people's hands are. The reason is this. Back in about 86, I think it was, I was at a swimming pool party in Swansea Leisure Centre in South Wales. I was at university, and we were drinking and jumping in and out the pool and using the flume slide. And I went down the flume with my girlfriend. She went feet first and I followed her head first. She hit the water and stopped dead, and I put my head into the back of her head. It didn't do her any harm, but my head was forced back. I caused an issue with one of my discs in my neck, and I got a horrible nosebleed, coloured the water red, and the swimming pool attendant was really annoyed and wanted me to get out because he was worried I was getting in the water dirty. He didn't seem to worry about the fact that I'd hurt myself. But anyway, I kind of sort of recovered from that, but I had all sorts of problems with tingling sensations in my arms and my legs for a long time following that. Then in 2004, I was in the gym and I was doing pull-ups. I'm a big lad. At the time, I was about 20 stone, so what's that, 280 pounds, something like that. And I was doing pull-ups, and I just felt something go in my neck. So I went and saw the doctor, and I had a little bit of physio, and then the doctor said, phoned me one morning on my way to physio, and she said, don't go to physio. You need to come and see me. We need an MRI scan before they do any manipulation of your neck. And I said, all right, fine. Now, I'd had an x-ray done, and she looked at it and she didn't like the look of it. So we had an MRI scan done, and it turned out that I had 2 ruptured discs and a thing called a stenosis, which is a sort of bony growth inside where the spinal cord runs in my spine. And so she recommended an operation called a laminectomy. I went and saw a surgeon. He said, yes, you need the laminectomy. That's to say they remove the back part, the lamina, of each of the C3, C4 and C5 spinal vertebrae and the bony stenosis behind it. So I went into hospital. They cut all of those out. I have a big scar down the back of my neck. But when I woke up from the operation, I was completely paralysed from the neck down. I had absolutely no feeling at all. My digestive system had packed up and my breathing was becoming very laboured and very difficult. So they put me on a respirator. And luckily the breathing and the digestive system both sort of kicked back in again after a couple of days, which was good because that would have been really quite serious. But the paralysis was still there, and I spent 3 months lying on my back, unable to move at all, which was unpleasant. But I learned patience. There's one thing you learn when you can't do anything. You can't even scratch your own nose. You learn infinite patience, and I have incredible patience to this day, which is just as well because I still find things very difficult to do. But I also discovered that I then had 6 months in spinal rehab, and I discovered there that determination can take you an awful long way. They had me up and walking within a week. Well, you could call it walking. It's a sort of shuffling motion, but I could move about, and I can still move about the house, although I get around in a wheelchair or a scooter, and I can't really walk in any recognisable way, but I can move from one chair to another chair, that sort of thing. I can drive a car, though I recommend you keep out of the way when I'm driving. Needs to be an automatic, and it's a little bit of adaptation, but we can do it. it was, in some ways, it was the worst day of my life, and in others, it was the beginning of a new and in some ways better life. 9 months in hospital and a total of 2 years off work give me time to have a little perspective on my life. And I set up a business. I've got involved in various charitable, political, various things as a result, things I would never have got involved in before. Setting up my own business was really key to it. I became very much more reliant on myself and on my wife, and to some extent on my children. But I was only 37 when this all started. I'm 54 now. So things are, well, I'm sorry, I'm 54 this year. I'm actually 53. God, I'm wishing my life away. So, and I still have ambitions to do greater things. About 5 years ago, I had another operation on my back. They did a laminectomy of C6. So 3, 4, 5 and 6 are all done now. And a little bit of a tidy up. It didn't make things any better, but it was designed to stop things getting progressively worse. Different surgeon this time, I should say. A much better chap. Certainly did a better job. I can't malign the first guy. I'm sure he was trying his best, but his best wasn't very good. So there we are. Anyway, so that's where I am. I am officially what's called tetraplegic. Tetra from the Greek tetris, meaning four. In America they call it quadriplegic. Quad from the Latin quadra, meaning four. It's amazing how we have the same language, but things are very different. Anyway, so there I am. I am still tetraplegic, quadriplegic. I still have very little movement in my right leg, my left leg. It's a bit like my arms, my right leg is just pretty much dead, but it can bear weight. My left leg is, it's like my right arm, it moves, but rather slowly. So I sort of shuffle along when I have to. I walk with sticks or crutches. The problem is crutches don't work very well for me because my right arm doesn't work. So using a crutch with an arm that doesn't work is very difficult. But anyway, I get on through life and I have a relatively positive outlook. I have various ambitions. I'm involved in politics. I currently have an elected position, but I don't really want to go into that here. And I've stood for Westminster, which is the National Parliament of Great Britain. Granted, I stood in a seat that I couldn't win, and I was happy to do that, knowing I didn't have to go to Westminster. Travelling down to London 3 days a week just didn't appeal to me. But I was prepared to help out. I would like to get into the Scottish Parliament, and it remains my ambition. And in 2021, who knows? You never know. Unfortunately, if I do that, this will probably have to come to an end. Knives are a particular problem in Britain at the moment. I have all sorts of worries about knives and some of the knife laws, and I'm a little bit outspoken on them, and that could cause me problems. So this may go if that happens. But anyway, that's where we are just now. Thank you very much for listening to this. This is particularly drivelly, but there we are. So many people have asked, I thought I'd just do a little video and tell you what happened. So thank you if you're still with me after 9 minutes. That's very good for you. So thank you very much. I wouldn't bother to subscribe for this because you're not going to get any more of this. This was a one-off. I haven't even decided if I'm going to post it yet, but I'll watch it back and see what it sounds like, and then we'll see from there. If you are still listening, great. Thank you very much. And we'll catch you next time, and next time it'll be about knives and not about me. Okay.